NBA Show, man. Appreciate you guys for being here as always. If you could hit the like button for me before we get started. Real quick on the recap, and we're gonna go ahead and get into today's slate. Yesterday, 2-1 day. Boston Celtics did not win yesterday. Broke my heart, crushed my heart that they didn't win yesterday. But the under did cash, under 226 and a half. And also the other look that I was on was Memphis minus the 6. So we did go 2-1 yesterday. If you tell those plays, the official plays, and we back today for some more, man. Nice little 5-card Tuesday slate. So like I said, let's go ahead and get into it. Hit the like button for me if you guys can, retweet the show, and let's get into the games today. So real quick before we get started, let me grab my handy dandy notebook. I went back to actually writing stuff down on pencil and paper recently. So let me grab my notebook, get my iPad set up so we can get the live odds as we get new information, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So I think I got everything I need. Let's start with this Kings game. So the Kings play the 76ers. Not 100% sure. Let me check and see if we got any news. Probably not, if I had to guess. Haven't been active on Twitter throughout most of the day, but I do want to check and see if we have the news, because that's extremely important news, especially in that one with let's see, with we got something. DeAnthony Milton's ruled out as of 1 minute ago, so this just came through. DeAnthony Milton's ruled out. Daniel House is ruled out. That does not make me like my play in this game as much anymore, but I already played a spot in this game, so I'm gonna tell you guys what I got. And let me see if I can post these so you guys will be able to see them too. I try to keep everybody updated on these injury things. Trey Young, Capella for tomorrow, and I think that is it. Yeah, I think that's it for today. So we're still waiting on news in this first game. So first game up, like I said, Kings and the 76ers. The line is down to 4.5 now, so some money's coming in on Sacramento, buying back a little bit. This line opened at 5. It was up to 5.5. Now I see it back down to 4.5. So total in this one is starting to looks like it's starting to drop. And I agree with that. I know the total had went all the way up to 229.5. I saw earlier, probably about an hour ago, and I like the under. I talked about it earlier on my guy Ronald's show. I like the under a lot. So let me get to my notes on this one for you guys. So of course, we still know Fox is listed as questionable. I think if Fox comes back, it actually might have a better chance to go under, because it typically takes a while for guys to get acclimated back into the offense, especially if you miss like 3 or 4 games. So Fox listed as questionable. Fourth game of a 7-game road trip for the Kings. They're under in 4 their last 5 games. This is the first game of a back-to-back as well. They play in Toronto tomorrow. First day of 1 day of rest, coming off a loss to the New York Knicks on Sunday. They're 9-4 to the under on the road, including 6 of their last 7. Also 7-2 to the under as an away dog. 0-2 on the front end of a back-to-back when they're away, and 3-0 to the under on the first night of a back-to-back overall. Also, looking at this game, you get a team that's playing their first leg of a back-to-back, and in that scenario, teams are 83, 53, and 1, which is 61% to the under. That trend would fade the under for the Sacramento side. If you look at teams that are away, so same thing, right? This also factors in for the Kings tonight. Away teams this season playing on the first leg of a back-to-back, they're 54, 28, and 1 to the under. That's 66% cash rate to the under. 3-0 to the under when they're away dog, and the total is set at 227 or higher. So they haven't had an away game go over 228 when the total so far on the road as an away dog. You look at the Sixers, this will be their third game of a 6-game homestand. They're 7-4 to the under with Embiid in this season as a home favorite. The games are totaling about 216 points. 2 straight wins, 2 straight covers for them. Against the Charlotte Hornets, they started a little slow, and against my Los Angeles Lakers on last Friday. So they rested in this spot. Rest typically leads to better defense. They have gone over in 4 straight games, but for me, I kind of feel like the Kings don't play offense as well on the road. as they do at home. And the 76ers actually score less points at home than they do on the road as well. So I look for some regression. I look for the Kings to come out here and battle hard in this spot. The 76ers do play well at home. They're 10-4 against the spread at home, 8-6 to the under overall. They're also 5-2 to the under at home when the total is greater than or equal to 220 points. And that 5-2 includes the overtime game that happened with the Lakers, even though that game was already over in regulation. I felt like that was supposed to be an under game. I played the under in that game. Sneaky look though. I was looking at in this one. I was looking at the first quarter under. Went through and live capped this one earlier. I think there's still some value there. I know that the total's coming down. If you look at this Philadelphia 76ers team, especially as a home favorite, the worst quarter for them is typically the first quarter. I think the total points is 58.5. I'll be looking toward the under in that one. I didn't lock it in because I played the full game under. I got a little more confidence in that spot, but to me, it just feels like, slow-paced teams. 76ers typically have a high team total in the first quarter, and they typically go under. I think the Kings play defense in this spot. I think the 76ers also play defense in this spot, even if Fox is ruled in, even if he's ruled out. So I'll be looking at the first quarter under, but I am official on the under for the full game. I got the under at 228 and a half. Like I said, it went up to 229 and a half. So if you guys want to roll with me on that play, I know a lot of people don't play totals, especially unders. But if you want to roll with me on a total, I do think the higher you get the number, the better. If you want to wait until Fox get rolls in, I think that also helps. But if Fox get rolls out, then that's going to drop the total as well. So that's my kind of look on this one. I also got a small parlay that I put together earlier too. And I know y'all probably thinking, man, Chris put together a parlay. I actually did. And I'll put it. So it's actually two things. I guess it has to be two things. It's a parlay. So two props from different games, right? And those two things are Embiid's double-double and AD double-double. If you combine those, you get around a minus 112, which is pretty good value. Looking at Embiid, he's had 3 double-doubles in his 4 games since he returned from his injury. He has 6 double-doubles in his career, in 7 career games versus the Kings, so 6 for 7 versus the Kings specifically. They don't have a lot of interior presence. I was reading the beat writers report from Sacramento Bee, and they said they were activating this guy named Quintana or something like that. I don't know exactly who he is, but some 7-foot guy, because Alex Len is listed as out in this game, and I don't think that he's going. Of course, he's not going to play, so they're bringing in this guy. But that's barbecue chicken. Embiid should be able to dominate on the offensive side of the ball. I do expect him to get 10 rebounds. He's averaging 10.5 rebounds since his return from injury on 19.3 rebound chances. He's rested. Like I said, they had a day off, not coming off an overtime game. Fox just got rolled in, so that total's probably going to shoot up a little bit. I like it even more to go under with Fox in. So Embiid, he's rested. The Kings offense, I think, takes a step back on the road. I kind of mentioned that already, which should create more rebound chances for the Philadelphia 76ers. So Embiid double-double is the first leg of that parlay. And I mentioned the other leg was Anthony Davis. So AD has had a double-double in 12 of his last 13 games. The game that he didn't, of course, was the one that he went out after playing 0.17 seconds in the first quarter against the Cleveland Cavaliers in a game where a lot of people was on his overs and he had the flu or flu-like symptoms. AD also has double-double in 3 of his 5 games versus the Celtics since joining the Lakers. And one of those games, he actually only played 23 minutes and he had 9 points and 4 rebounds. So probably went out in that game. I didn't really look too much into detail, but AD, he's averaging 11.8 rebounds. So pretty much 12 rebounds on 17.5 rebound chances over his last 5 games. Boston also, without a true center in that game tonight, without Robert Williams, who is due to make his return soon, and without Al Horford, who's still out due to health and safety protocol. So I like AD double-double, and I like pairing it with Joel Embiid double-double. Like I said, you can get like a minus 112 odds if you put those 2 double-doubles together. And in this game, I am official on the under 228.5. Like I said, I like it even more the higher the total gets. So that's my thoughts on the first game. Moving along, we got the Warriors and the Bucks game. So I didn't have a very strong opinion on this game until I did some live capping. Shout out to my guy RC and everybody in the chat. We live capped this game earlier. The Warriors look really, really good the other day. They, if you don't want to fade the Warriors, I could totally understand that. They're not as good on the road, of course, as they are at home. I think they're 3-10 against the spread. On the road, the defense just doesn't travel. I mean, it's some of the biggest split differences that you'll probably find, historically, right? This team is, especially for a championship contending team, right? The Bucks, I think they were in a look-ahead game on Sunday when they lost outright to the Houston Rockets, 82-87. So I do expect the Bucks to be able to bounce back here. I know Drew Holiday hasn't got rolled in, but I think he probably plays for this game. Also, you get the Warriors traveling from West Coast to East Coast in a spot where I think they are 1-4 against the spread, traveling from West to out of conference game on the East Coast. So I think the Bucks probably, got this one circled. They know that the Golden State Warriors won the championship last year. They know that they, want to give them their best shot. I like the Bucks in this spot, man, to be quick and concise. I think the first half spread, which I didn't play, but I excuse me, I couldn't talk anybody off the first half spread. I played the full game. I played them at 4. It's still at 4 right now. I think it opened at 3.5. So you see some money coming in on the Bucks. And right now, let's see. So the first half spread, probably 1.5. Let me just take a look. Yeah, 1.5 for the Bucks. I think if the Bucks gonna win this game, it's gonna be because they come out and assert their dominance early. I don't think this is a spot where they're coming, playing great from behind. Typically the Bucks play well early, so I like the Bucks early, and I like the Bucks to win the full game as well. The Golden State Warriors third quarter has not been a thing on the road. Looking at some of those trends earlier, that was something that you could almost blindly take last year without even knowing anything about basketball and, be extremely profitable, especially if they were losing. That's not translated on the road this year. So I know it was like a quote unquote wagon play last year, but more so this year is probably the Oklahoma City Thunder. They typically come out and get blasted, most of the time down by double digits in the first half. And they have, I think they actually scored the most points in the third quarter. So Golden State's not that team anymore. I look for the Bucks to, dominate this game. I wouldn't say dominate, but at least have, a 2-possession lead pretty much throughout the game. I don't think that this one, I think they present matchup challenges for the Golden State Warriors, not having Andrew Wiggins. I don't think that their role players play as good as they did in that home game. I also think it could be an emotional letdown, especially after tapping into, such a big performance on Sunday. So I could be totally wrong, but I'm on the Bucks in this spot, minus the 4. Couldn't talk anybody off the 1.5 for the first half. Haven't gotten there yet, but I do got that in my bet slip as well. So real quick on that game, not any player props I'm really looking at. I don't think you can go wrong with Giannis. I also think Steph rebounds is another sneaky play. Like we always talk about Steph rebounds on the road. I don't want to get into too many player props, so I'm not going to take them. But looking at Steph rebounds, I think he's at 5.5 minus 122, and this wasn't even something that I capped, but more so just I just kind of remember this one. If you look at the Warriors. Let's see, Warriors on the season, and they are on the road. I just want to see how many rebounds Steph's averaging. He's averaging 7.7 rebounds on the road and 7.5 assists as well. So I could see him, having a difficult matchup with Javon Carter and Drew Holiday. Of course, he's going to, get a lot of pick and rolls, but the Bucks, they match up well against the Golden State Warriors. And I do think, like I said, Wiggins will be missed in this spot. So I could see Steph going over his rebounds and trying to impact the game, in other areas, not just primarily scoring the ball. Now, don't get it twisted. I do think Steph can come out here and get his points. But typically he struggled in this matchup against Drew Holiday. But I expect Steph to look like Steph. Like, I'm not saying that he's going to shoot, 5 for 20 from the field and have 18 points, but I do think that he still, probably gets the rebounds as well. So real quick, let me see. I want to see his rebound chances specifically on the road. Let me see what we got. So location, road, last 10 games. I'm trying to do all games. So it's only showing me the last 10 games. I don't think they played 10 games yet anyway. But let's see what we got. We got just want to see how many rebound chances Steph is actually averaging. So he's averaging 13 rebound chances. I think the more and more I talk about this one, the more and more I like it. So I'm gonna grab my handy dandy pencil real quick and write down Steph over 5.5 rebounds. Like I said, it is a tad bit juice. I said when I said it earlier, just a couple seconds ago, it was minus 122. Now I see it at minus 118. So Steph over 5.5 rebounds. I think that's a look that's definitely in play. Not anything I have in my pocket, but I'm adding it to my bet slip right now. Moving along, because I don't want to take too long, but I do want to tell you guys, if you join late, I'll go over my official plays at the end. Hit the like button for me if you guys can. Retweet the show, do all that good stuff, support the brother. All right, so next game up, let's go to let's go to Houston. Interesting game in Houston, man. Rockets done looked a lot better recently. So what I got for you guys in this one. So we get the Suns, third straight home game of a 5-game. Third straight road game of a 5-game road trip. This team has lost 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6. They're 1-3 against the spread, revenging the loss because they did lose outright to the Rockets earlier this season. They're also 3-1 to the 3-1 to the under when they're revenging those same season losses. They are just 2-5 against the spread as away favorites, and they're 4-2-1 to the under as away favorites. So we know that they recently had some, just some injury stuff kind of happen. I think it's always worth mentioning that it's difficult to back a team, that has some turnover. You look for those teams that have consistent lineups, right? Because everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. Nobody role is amplified or minimized at all. So it's a lot easier to back those teams. You look at this team, they were balling, just a few weeks ago before Chris Paul came back. Chris Paul came back against the Golden State Warriors, and they absolutely got smoked in that game. And they haven't won a game since. They have not won a game, now that I think about it, since Chris Paul came back. And that game was last Thursday, Tuesday. I think it was last Tuesday. It was a TNT game last Tuesday. They got smoked in that game. It was over with before it started. Then they went on to also lose to the New Orleans Pelicans twice as well. So they've actually been losing before Chris Paul came back, but they haven't picked up a win yet. You look at this Houston team. I know a lot of people probably aren't following Houston. Houston's 5-0 ATS in their last 5 home games. They're coming off the big win against the Milwaukee Bucks the other day. They won that game outright as, I think, 11-point dogs, 11.5-point dogs, at least 10-point dogs. They also beat the Houston Rockets last week too, in double overtime. So this team is playing well. They're playing defense. I think they're starting to, kind of believe in themselves. It was an emotional game the other day too, because they did, win that game for their coach, Coach Salas. His father passed away. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of emotion around getting that win against the Milwaukee Bucks, holding the Milwaukee Bucks to 82 points at home. Tonight, this Houston Rockets team, they are 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games following a straight up win. And I think that's typical for teams that, they win a game, but you don't look for them to be extremely consistent. So that's why I'm always looking at this stat. How do you back up success? With more success, or do you typically take a step back? If you're running, a marathon and you run your fastest mile in the beginning, are you going to be able to consistently hold that pace, or are you going to have to take a step back? And for me, I think about this Houston Rockets team. They are playing a lot better. They're 17th rated defensively at home, but over the last 2 weeks, they are actually 11th defensively at home. They are plus 5.62 net rating, which is extremely interesting. The best stretch that they probably had at home, probably since James Harden left. If I had to guess, I don't think that they are going to be consistent in this spot. I do think that, looking at a side, I feel like it's a Phoenix spot or nothing. I'm not going to lay the points. The spread did move and opened at 5.5. You look at this team, the biggest difference with the Houston Rockets is they're averaging 112 points at home. They're giving up 113. So only a 1 point. They're only losing by 1 point at home. And we know that they're typically catching a lot of points, right? They're 6-3-1 against the spread at home. You look at them on the road, they're averaging 108. So they're averaging 4 less points at home. 4 less points on the road, or you could say 4 more points at home. And then you look at them on the road, they're giving up 117 points. So they're giving up 113 at home, but pretty much 118 on the road, 117.9 on the road. So 11-point gap on the road, but they're only losing by 1 point at home. So I do think this is a spot where Houston, just to give them their respect, recently, I think they could, kind of keep this one close. I look for the Houston Rockets to get blasted in this game, though. I do think as good as they've been playing, a lot of the times you can kind of overlook them. I think, Philly, they beat Philly. That was James Harden first game back. And that's not making an excuse because Philly has been Houston has been playing well. But you look at the Bucks the other day on a Sunday, they'd already beat this team by 15, I think, earlier in the season. Look ahead game to the Golden State Warriors. I don't think that the Phoenix Suns overlooked them, especially because Phoenix has lost 4 games in a row, especially because Phoenix has lost 5 of their last 6, and especially because you got to take out that frustration by not being able to beat the Pelicans against somebody. So I think they take it out tonight, man. I think the Houston Rockets get smacked up tonight, man. I don't think that the Phoenix Suns are overlooking them at all. My play in this game is Phoenix Suns minus the 1.5 in the first quarter. That's out of respect for the Houston Rockets, man. I think, the Houston Rockets, they have been playing a little bit better. So I think for the Phoenix Suns, they come into this one motivated. It's got to be a bounce back spot for them. And if they don't win the first quarter, I think the Houston Rockets probably win the game as well. So I look for the Suns to be able to be up in this game early. I know the spread, I think it moved to 2.5. I wouldn't be, I couldn't talk anybody off the 2.5 either. I think that this probably is 4 or 5 points game, 2-possession game at the end of the first quarter. I think the Suns absolutely come out here and try to manhandle the Houston Rockets. I think I look for guys like DeAndre Ayton to have a big game because I don't think that they have anybody. Sengun can't guard him on this team. I also think I see my guy Mitch in the chat. I also think Mikal Bridges has a really big game. So I was looking at his 3 prop, and it's 2.5, and it's actually plus money, like real good plus money, plus 128. You look at Bridges. I think the first thing to take in consideration is that Devin Booker is not in today. So that's going to equal more shots, more opportunities, more scoring output that's going to be needed from him. His last 5 games, he's averaging 3.2 makes on 7.2 attempts. And you look at his attempts specifically, you always talk about volume, especially when you're thinking a 3-point shooter. He shot the ball 15 times. He shot the ball 13 times from 3 against the Pelicans. He shot the ball 5 times against the Pelicans in the game before. 5 times before that, 6 times before that, and 7 times before that in his last 5 games. 13, 5, 5, 6, and 7 shot attempts. And I'm only needing him to make 3. He's cleared the 2.5 line in 3 of his last 5 games. You look at the last 7 games for the Rockets, they're allowing the 3rd most threes to the small forward position. 4.5 is what they're allowing. And over the season, they're actually allowing the 2nd most threes, the 2nd most 3-point makes at 14 a game. Last 7 games, however, they're allowing the most threes to be made, 16.1. So I think, you target the shooter on the opposite team. This is real simple stuff. You target the shooter on the opposite team. You target the guy that's shooting the ball the most. You target the guy that's going to get the most volume, especially with an injury to Devin Booker. I like Bridges over the 2.5 threes. Shout out to my guy Mitch for pointing that one out to me earlier. I did some research, and I like it as well. So I am going to play Bridges over 2.5 threes in this one. And I also took the Rockets. I'm sorry, I took the Suns minus the 1.5. So moving along, we got 2 more games to get to real quick. Like I said, hit the like button for me if you guys can. Pelicans and the Jazz, not a game that I'm extremely interested in. This was a game that I was on. This will be a revenge game for the Pelicans. I was actually on the Pelicans when the season started back in October. It was October 23rd. It was the first game for the Pelicans at home for the whole season. They started the season off. I don't know if people remember. I think it was in Brooklyn. They smashed Brooklyn in that game. And then they had another road game, and they won that one too. And they came home, and I'm like, man, Smoothie King Center gonna be rocking. And I had a nice little piece of change on the New Orleans Pelicans in that spot at home. Thinking, and they talked about it, how they kind of overlooked the Jazz in that spot. The Jazz at this time were like 2-0. Nobody really believed in them. It was before they started off like 11-1 or however hot it is that they started. But they cost me a lot of money that night, so I do need to figure out how I'm gonna get that Jazz money back. But I don't think I'm touching this game specifically. So line in this one opened at 1.5 in favor of the Jazz. Right now, I see it at 2 in favor of the Pelicans. I'm sorry, in favor of the Pelicans. It opened at 1.5 in favor of the Pelicans, and money's come in on the Pelicans. Hard to fade this team. It's up to 2 now. The total was opened at 231. I saw it go all the way up to 233.5. I think it might even touch 234. Now I see it coming back down to 232.5. So money kind of coming back in there. Looking at this game, so the Pelicans, I talked about them. They have the best record in the Western Conference. You look at their last 10 games, they're 9-1 straight up, 7-3 against the spread. They're 6-5 ATS on the road, however, 4-2 as a favorite on the road, both straight up and against the spread. Also 4-2 to the under. They're still going to be without Brandon Ingram, but Herb Jones is going to make his return. They off 1 day's rest. This is their first road game after 4 straight home games. They haven't played well on the road recently. They have covered 5 of their last 6. And they're coming off the 2 emotional wins against the rival Suns, plus the overtime. The last game was an overtime game as well. You look at this team defensively, and they play well. They're 5th rated defensively on the road over the last 2 weeks and 8th rated offensively, even without Brandon Ingram being acclimated and kind of, getting CJ McCollum back into the swing of things after he was out for, he missed a few games because he was out with COVID. So Pelicans not a team that I'm really looking to fade right now. The Jazz, on the opposite hand, I think they have all hands on deck. Jordan Clarkson and Lauri Markkanen aren't on the injury report. So they should be good to go. They're 7-7 against the spread at home, 16 and 13 straight up, but they are just 3-7 last 10, both last 10 straight up, 4-6 against the spread last 10. So they have kind of regressed back to the mean, to the team that I think they're still better than the team we thought they were going to be. They've lost 3 of their last 4, failed to cover 3 of their last 4 spreads. You look at Utah, and it's not their offense, it's their defense. They have a defensive rating of 116.5, which ranks 27th at home over the last 2 weeks. They're 11th rated offensively over the last 2 weeks at home. So they're scoring the ball, but then they're giving up a lot of points. They're also 4-1 straight up and against the spread as a home dog. So not a spot you want to fade them as a home favorite, because typically they don't play well in that spot. But the Jazz aren't necessarily a team you want to fade as a home dog. For some reason, they typically play well in this spot. Like I said, 4-1 straight up and against the spread. They're healthy today. I did mention the revenge factor. Like I said, I don't know, if for me, my thing is this, like, yeah, there's the revenge angle. You don't have Brandon Ingram, and how well are the role players going to play on the road specifically? That's what kind of scares me off of this one. And I talked about this earlier with the guys, right? You see these teams that have been on these long home streaks, right? Where they've been home favorites, they cover, they're home favorite again, they cover, they home favorite again, they cover. Then that first game on the road, they look like they got hit by a bus and their offense is totally gone, right? We saw this recently. We saw this with Toronto. The Toronto Raptors beat the Lakers the other last week, and then they beat, I can't remember who the other team was. I probably should have looked it up. But Toronto Raptors, they beat the Lakers the other day, and let me see. Oh, the Orlando Magic. That's who it was. They beat the Lakers in the Orlando Magic at the beginning of last week. Then they go on the road and lose to the Orlando Magic twice. How does it make sense? So away, a home favorite, back-to-back games. You go on the road, you land these big numbers, and then you can't cover. We saw it with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They just come off a 4 or 5 game homestand, and they won every single one of them except the one against the Kings. They go on the road and they lose yesterday outright to the Spurs, laying 9.5, 10 points when that game closed. So I'm not in a rush to back these teams that, and I know this is a small spread, but I'm not in a rush to back these teams that have been playing at home, especially when they're missing a guy like Brandon Ingram in this spot. So I hope that makes sense. That's why I didn't play a side in this one. I think it's more of a game for me to kind of watch and see. Couldn't talk anybody off either side. I think you can make cases for either side in this one. But I do think one thing I was looking at in this one is Mr. Zion Williamson. Pelicans, they are running their offense through him. This dude just won Offensive Player of the Week. I think his point prop was sitting at 26.5, 27.5. To me, it just feels like a game Zion has to continue to dominate, maybe they send some double teams at him and people take a look at his assists. But to me, this feels like a game Zion has to play well, because you can't expect that same kind of offensive production from Trey Murphy and Jose Alvarado and, guys like Najee Marshall and Dyson Daniels on the road specifically, right? Utah scores a lot of points, and they can run you out the gym if your offense isn't hidden and, they can actually get stops. So maybe they implement something where they try to double Zion, best, especially seeing after he, scored, won the Western Conference Player of the Week last week and averaged over 33 points on 70%, field goal percentage. I'm not quite sure how that part works, but the Jazz do give up the most points in the paint out of any team in the NBA. They typically try to run you off three, and then that's it. So Zion, I think, probably will end up drawing Jared Vanderbilt today. And I think Vanderbilt is a pretty good defender. He just, lacks some girth. He gonna have to gain some weight tonight before, he matches up against Zion. So I couldn't talk anybody off Zion points. I didn't play Zion points, but I think he has the ability to be able to kind of keep it going. I think he's also at a really good stretch where he's really getting a chance to kind of prove himself without Brandon Ingram being there and without CJ McCollum, who looked strong in the last game, but that was his first game where he's looked really, really good since returning from COVID. So I think Zion is, has the keys right now, and he's, taking the. Oh man, we just got Drew Holiday ruled out. That does not make me feel good at all. But I don't think that, they have an answer for a guy like Zion. Like I said, Vanderbilt will try his best. Maybe they double team, try to get the ball out of his hands. If that's the case, you're gonna if you're backing the Pelicans in this spot, you're gonna hope that they can knock down some wide open jump shots. This isn't a team that is known for being the greatest 3-point shooting team. They do cut well without the ball. We'll see though, if that defense, like I said, 5th rated defensively over the last 5 weeks on the road against some pretty bad opponents. We'll see how that goes. I know they had the Spurs twice, and they had the Grizzlies without CJ and without Brandon Ingram, and they got smacked up by 20 in that game. So that's what I got for you guys there. My strongest look would, like I said, would probably be Zion points, but nothing that I'm official on. Last game up, Celtics and the Lakers. I got talked on to to the Lakers, and I didn't play it yet. I'm sorry, talked on to the Celtics. Shout out to my guy Ski. We broke this one down earlier. So Lakers 3.5-point home dogs today versus the Celtics, who have taken a step back. The line has moved to 4 now in favor of Boston. The total has shot up from 232.5 up to 235.5. Couldn't talk anybody off the over in that one because we know that the Lakers don't play the greatest defense, specifically when they're playing against, really good teams. Against these lackluster opponents, the Lakers, they typically dominate. We see them, go on this road trip out east, and they look really, really good to start the road trip, and then they kind of falter a tad bit, losing in Cleveland, get smacked up shorthandedly in Toronto the next day. And then, of course, you give up a bunch of points to Embiid, and Milton goes crazy in that game. And then you go to Detroit and you look like a world beater again, right? You beat Detroit and you're able to cover the spread. Bron and AD both go off for 30 plus points in that game. And now you get the Celtics, whose defense has kind of taken a step back recently. We saw the Clippers, give them everything that they wanted last night. That game was over with before it got started. And that hurt my heart because I had the Celtics last night. But in this spot, the Celtics they are due for some regression. I do think they're due for some regression. One of the big things I looked at in this game was how the Lakers do against teams that have a win percentage above 50%. And the records aren't good. I want to say it's 2-4, 2-4 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. So they're not beating teams that, have a really good ATS record. So I'd be looking towards the Celtics, man. I do think that you look at this Lakers team and the way that they, defend the three, and it's not the greatest. Matter of fact, let me pull that up real quick and just get you out that number. I think that's important to mention. I don't have it sitting right here in front of me. So teams and opponent. So for the entire season, the Lakers are allowing 12.2 make threes a game, which ranks right in the middle. So they're 15th in makes. They're allowing teams to shoot they're allowing teams to shoot 35 threes, which is the 8th most, the 9th most in the league. And they're allowing teams to shoot 34% from 3, which actually isn't the greatest. But the Boston Celtics are due for some regression in the department. If you look at the last 5 games specifically, the Lakers have been on the road. On the road specifically, they're allowing teams to shoot in those games. They were allowing teams to shoot 33%. The Lakers give up a lot of points in the paint, which makes me want to look towards maybe Tatum points. Tatum's had 2 bad offensive games back to back. Maybe he can't play well in the state of California because he looked terrible against Golden State, and he also looked terrible last night against the Clippers. The Lakers do not have the level of defenders for the perimeter that the Boston Celtics had. I'm sorry, that the Los Angeles Clippers had, which I made mention of yesterday on the show, even though I was on Boston, or the Golden State Warriors, right? Patrick Beverley, I think he's a really good a really good defender. Can he defend Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? That's going to be extremely difficult. Outside of those two, Anthony Davis is the next best defender, and Austin Reeves plays hard. Lonnie Walker plays hard, but catching Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown off a game where they didn't get close to their point total, even though it's the second night of a back-to-back and a third game in 4 night, I would be looking at the Celtics to bounce back in this spot. Like I said, nothing that I officially played, but I did give out the 2-leg parlay: Anthony Davis double-double and Joel Embiid double-double, -112 if you put those together. And I kind of went over the notes for those already. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything on my list. No, I think that, I talked about everything. I do think Braun points are at a look in this game as well. The more rested team defense that's playing second night of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights. Celtics don't really try to play a lot of defense. They more so try to just outscore you. So I do think that Braun being rested in this spot, coming back home, is I think that's a look that has to be taken into consideration. I couldn't talk anybody off AD either, but Braun, you look at Braun, he's averaging 26 on the season. I think his point prop is 26.5. Last 5 games, he's averaging 27, taking 22 shot attempts and shooting 48% from the field. Since joining the Lakers, he's went over in 3 of his last 4 meetings against the Celtics. This point total of 27. High total 234, 233.5 means the books are expecting a lot of points. Boston also lacks rim protection without a true big. We know that Al Horford and Robert Williams will not play in this game. So I can see Braun going downhill if his shot's not falling. I could also see him, probably making a lot of threes. Typically when somebody making a lot of threes against you, you want to start jacking them up as well. And I do expect Boston to shoot a lot of threes, especially third game of 4 nights, second game of back-to-back. You typically just want to shoot and not exert too much energy. So I look for Boston, which, typically shoots and makes a lot of threes to be able to, knock some down. I also think that, that's all my thoughts on that game. That's all my thoughts. So real quick, the official plays that I did give out since I've been talking, because I've covered all the games now, would be the Sacramento Kings and the Philadelphia 76ers under the 228.5. Like I said, get the number at 229.5. I'm not sure where the total went since Fox got ruled in, but let's see what we got. Yeah, I was right. It went up. So back to 229.5. I still like the under in that spot. I like the under a lot. So under 229.5 is what I'll give it out at. If you guys, if you guys are in the totals, and especially if you guys are in the unders, under 228, under 229.5, Sacramento and Philly. Golden State and Milwaukee. Like I said, the best look in this one would be Milwaukee minus the 4. I like them full game. Couldn't talk anybody off the first half, minus the 1.5. But I like them full game. RC kind of talked me on that one. So I'm riding with him on that. The Golden State, the Milwaukee Bucks minus the 4 for the full game. Like I said, Milwaukee first half minus the 1.5. Like that look as well. I think it's some regression for Golden State after playing so well at home the other day. Boston first half, Boston first quarter, I think are also in play. Didn't take either one of those, but couldn't talk anybody off of those. And then sneaky look, right? Sacramento and Philly, first quarter under 58.5. I talked about this one earlier. Don't have this one in my bet slip, but that's probably will be something that I add. Probably be a smaller play because the first quarters have been a little weird. But if you look at Philly, their first quarter is typically their worst quarter. It doesn't matter like what trend you run either, whether they're home favorites, whether, it's off rest, whatever the case might be. There's typically not a team that plays really fast in the first quarter, and they typically struggle for whatever reason. It doesn't matter if they're playing a team below 40% win percentage, above 40%. above 50% win percentage, they just typically don't score a lot of points in the first quarter. They don't give up a lot of points either. It's typically about 53, 54 points in the first quarter. So the 58.5 makes me feel good. I think that the Kings also try to come out here and play defense. And Philly, they do weird stuff in the first quarter, like turn the ball over, like not give it to Joel Embiid, like walk the ball up, and get a 24-second shot clock violation. That's what they typically do before the offense typically starts to score a lot more in the second quarter and the third quarter. It's typically 30-point quarters in the second quarter and third quarter, but they're about 25, 26, 27 points in the first quarter. So I do like the under in the first quarter as well. Didn't add that one, but I'm probably going to play that as well. As far as player props, I think, like I said, the best ones for me, the small parlay, Embiid double-double and Anthony Davis double-double, -112. If you put those together, Bridges over the 3.5 threes. And I like Braun over the 26.5 points, and couldn't talk anybody off Zion over 27.5 points as well against a team that, is last in the NBA at being able to, last in the NBA as far as allowing points per game. So like all of those looks, man, that's what I'm on. That's what, my top looks of the day. The only thing I've officially played and oh, and I forgot Phoenix first quarter. I'm official on Phoenix first quarter -1.5. Like I said, I played at 2.5 too. I think Phoenix is winning the first quarter by 2 possessions. So I like Phoenix first quarter. I like the Bucks full game -4, and the Sacramento Philly under 228.5 is what I got it at. I played at 229.5. You guys get a better number. Those are the 3 official plays that I have for today. If I was, and then I'm sorry, and the one player, excuse me, the one player prop. Embiid double-double, Anthony Davis double-double combined -112. And the Bridges over 3.5 threes is sitting in my best slip. So those are my favorite plays for today. Only locked in those 4, the 3 spreads that I gave you guys. The 2 spreads I gave you guys, the one total and the Embiid and Anthony Davis double-double combined. And like I said, the rest of them are kind of sitting in my best slip. Not sure what I'm going to do with any of them, but I do like the Bridges over the 3.5 threes a little bit more than the rest of them. So yeah, I'm done, man. What y'all on today? Send me some requests, man. Drew Holiday ruled out. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Holiday ruled out. JR said, Chris, Tatum over 8.5 rebounds tonight. Lakers give up rebounds to small forwards. I can see it. One thing I've been looking at, JR, is, since Al Horford's been out, Coach Mazzullo has went with a bigger lineup where he started Blake Griffin and Grant Williams, which is, kind of forced Jason Tatum to play the 3 and not play the 4 as much. Tatum was getting a lot of rebounds when he was the 3, not as many when he was since he's, been the 4. So I think if you look at some of the regression to Tatum being able to rebound the ball recently, it comes from, them having Blake Griffin out there stealing all his rebounds. Let's see. Tatum last few games, he did have 11 against the Clippers. He only had 7 against Golden State, 5 against Phoenix. So I could see him going over the 8.5, but I could also see him kind of, staying under the 8.5. I think that you have to have a big body like Blake Griffin on the floor to contend with AD. So that takes Tatum, away just to, actually that might help Tatum, because if they're defending AD, Tatum may be the guy to come over and grab the rebounds. I'm not playing Tatum rebounds today, but if you got a better look on it, a better feel for it than I do, yeah, you go ahead and do that. Mitch said he leaving them alone. But yeah, if you guys got looks, man, like I said, send me a request. I'll get to them. And we gonna let's see. First of all, my AirPods connected and they shouldn't be. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and take this out. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Yo, LJ, what's going on, my brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, LJ? What you on today?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good?
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, bro. How you?
Oh, man, I'm good. I'm waiting, going to this Rockets and Suns game. So just wanted to tap in with you, give you my best props for the day, So,
okay, what you on?
Oh, I'm going to the Rocket game, so I got to be on my boy Jalen Green. Over 21.5 points. I think that's a little bit too low, considering he's averaging 25 points at home on the season, and he's averaging 24 in his last 8 home games. And the Rockets, we on a 4-game winning streak at home. And I heard you mention we're gonna get smacked up tonight, Chris. That's how you feel?
Nah. I said it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. But if I was gonna say y'all was gonna get smacked up, I would put money on it. I ain't putting no money on it. I think y'all lose the first quarter, LJ.
Okay. Well, I'm on first half plus the 3.5.
Okay.
Plus.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, we won 4 in a row at home, and we turn up at home. So I like the way they're playing aggressively. You know, and that was against 3 playoff teams too, I believe, this 4-game winning streak at home. So I took Jalen Green over 21.5 points, and I'm also gonna take a sneaky one, Tyree Eason off the bench, plus 2 steals, plus 225. He's averaging 2+ steals in the last 5 home games. So I parlayed with that Jalen Green points and got a plus 475 parlay with Eason and Jalen Green. And the Suns are allowing 11 steals in the game last 3 games. So, you know, I like the way he comes off the bench and hustles, you know, so he should get that 2+ since he's averaging that. So let's go with that one. As far as this Pelicans and Jazz game, I see why you would take Zion Williams points, but when I looked at it, it was over 28.5 and it's plus 100. So that kind of gives me pause that you're giving his average at a plus money. So I'm gonna kind of stay a shy away from that. But I do believe we can catch that first quarter over 57 total because the Pelicans are averaging 29 points in the first quarter on the season, and the Jazz average 30 points in the first quarter at home. So that gives you that 59 right there. So I do believe that first quarter hit the over. So I'm gonna take a shot on that one in that game. As far as this Philly game, I'm gonna jump on Embiid. Over 41.5 points and rebounds. He's averaging 41 points and 10 rebounds his last 4 games, averaging 36 and 10 at home. And in the last 5 games versus Sacramento, 29-16. So I believe he should get that easily. Like I said, he's been playing the best ball probably in the league for his past couple of 2 weeks. So, and plus I'm gonna jump on his boy James Harden, over 9.5 assists. He's averaging 11 the last 3 games. In the last 5 games versus Sac, averaging 11. So he should get that. And I also parlayed both of those two to get a plus 249. So I feel good tonight, Chris. I'm cashing tonight.
I like it. I like it, LJ. I like it. I like that Jazz in New Orleans first quarter look. I like that look a lot. I think that's probably definitely going over. I like that one. Like that one a lot, LJ.
Okay.
You said over 58.5 is what you got the number at, right?
Over 57.
Over 57.5.
Pelicans and Jazz first quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Over 57 first quarter.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to do some work on that one. I like that.
Okay. And my last one, of course, AD. Over 40.5 points and rebounds. Boston has no paint presence, as we know. Both their centers are home. So there's no reason why AD shouldn't eat tonight. You know, averaging 33 and 11. You know, 27 and 12 the last 4 games versus Boston. So, and he's leading the league in rebounds at home with 13.
Mm-hmm.
So AD should eat tonight. So that's my 5 right there, Chris. I got honorable mentions. Draymond over 6.5 assists. I didn't take it. You know, he's averaging 7 on the road, averaging 7.8 the last 5 versus the Bucks. But I'm gonna stay off. You know, I just want to see him come back and see what he do. You know, before I take that bet. But other than that, that's it for me. So I'm about to go into this Rocket game and enjoy Rockets take these Suns down, my brother.
Hey, best of luck, LJ. I hope you cash all your bets because you can cash yours and I can still cash my first quarter too.
Already, let's get it.
Absolutely, bro. Best of luck. Enjoy the game, man.
All right, man. You good.
Absolutely. You too, bro. Appreciate you sharing the looks. JT, what's going on, my guy? How you doing, man?
What's happening, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah. You good? What's going on?
What's up, man? Big fan. I've been listening for the past few months. So just to set the record straight, I'm a Boston fan, mostly bet NFL, but I've been getting into NBA more and more over the past few years. So as far as tonight goes, I was high on the Bucks before you just said Drew Holiday's out. I was already thinking about it before you said that, but after you said that, I'm even kind of more sure of it. For the record, also, please don't kill me. I'm very up and down. But I am pretty confident in Chris Middleton tonight. I think the Bucks are probably going to win that game with the Warriors kind of putting. Maybe I'm biased as a Celtics fan, Drew Holiday is probably going to put up some pretty good numbers tonight. The books probably have his points set too low. And outside of that, I heard you mention earlier Mikal Bridges, his threes with Devin Booker out. I don't think that's a bad look either. But other than that, that's kind of what I got. I'm going to keep listening. I'll pop in and out here and there when I have some takes I think are worth. Also, Anthony Davis, I know everybody's high on him as well tonight. I think that's totally possible. As a Boston fan, I was saying to some people earlier, we don't have a big to cover a guy like Anthony Davis. If Time Lord was healthy, it'd be a different story. I think he'd be able to, defend him properly. But I don't think tonight Al Horford, Blake Griffin, like who are you going to put on Anthony Davis if he keeps playing the way he has? But the issue is I also don't think Boston is going to lose 3 games in a row. I know they could go on a road slide, but I think this team's played incredibly well this year, and I can't see them losing 3 games in a row. So.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that as well. I think it's going to be difficult for them to lose 3 games in a row. I will say, looking at the teams, shout out to my guy RC. We talked about this earlier too. Teams that play the Lakers on the second end of a back-to-back after facing the Clippers the day before are just 1-4 against the spread, 1-4 straight up as well. So I want to say that. But yeah, the Lakers been kind of gift wrapped these wins. The difference is the Lakers are traveling from the East Coast with 1 day of rest in between. They played in in Detroit on Sunday, so they did get yesterday off, but right back at it today. So and the Clippers, I mean the Boston Celtics didn't have any, they didn't have any travel at all. They play in the same exact arena, so could definitely see it.
Yep. Also, shout out to anybody that got their heart ripped out by the Bulls earlier this week. I parlayed the Bulls and the Chargers when the Bulls were playing the Hawks Sunday, and I literally, at that 0.5 seconds when they were up 1, I flipped it off. I was like, all right, great, my 2 legs going to hit. And then, the Chargers were up. I'm like, boys, I'm looking good tonight. I have Bulls Chargers. They're like, oh no, the Bulls ended up losing.
Yeah.
With a half a second, I was just, oh man, that one hurt.
Yeah, AJ Griffin had different plans, man. But best of luck to you tonight, JT. I hope you cash in, bro.
Hey, thanks, man. You too. Best of luck, everybody.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Let me see if I can get Cash up. Cash, what's going on, man? How you doing? Can you hear me? Cash, can you hear me? Bookie, can you hear me?
Yeah, what up, Chris?
What up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. I got a couple looks tonight. Not a great slate. Obviously, the big Wednesday slate tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna only play a couple units tonight. But I got a few looks I like. I'm actually aligned with you on Curry. I'll probably talk about that one first.
Okay.
So Curry over the 5.5 rebounds. You mentioned the home and away splits. Steph. I also was considering Steph just the 5+ rebounds and Milwaukee plus 5.5 minus 118. Milwaukee allowing the 6th most rebounds per game to point guards, and looking at point guards playing 30+ minutes versus Milwaukee, 9 and 21 point guards hit the 6+ rebounds, and that's a big number. So then I scaled it down, looking at the point guards in 5+ and 14 and 21 hit 5+. 6, 8, and 5 rebounds in the last 3 versus Milwaukee, grabbing the 8 in under 30 minutes. I actually like it now that Drew Holiday is out. I like it more now because you're not really going to be forced to be sticking with a ball-dominant player like Drew Holiday. Not even ball-dominant, but somebody's going to be dribbling the ball primarily. He's going to be able to stick on to like Javon Carter or Grayson Allen on the wing and be able to kind of have some more freedom to get some rebounds. It's 115. That's what I'm on tonight.
Okay. You got some looks, Bookie. I know you did your work too, as well. If you guys are listening on, for the people who are watching on YouTube, if you guys can hear me, let me know because I did turn the audio on and turn it back off. I know it was some audio, technical difficulties. It sounded like so. Let me know if you guys can hear me if you're watching on YouTube. Okay, appreciate you, DJ. Sounds good now. Okay, all right, bet. All right, Bookie. I like the looks, bro. Definitely hope you catch them. Let me kick it to my guy Ben. What's up, Ben?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Doing good. I got one play for you that I want to ask your opinion on one because the whole Wiggins pool thing kind of throws a little wrench in my Curry plans for tonight.
What you got?
But the play that I'm on is DeAndre Ayton over 20.5 points. The more I dug into this, the more I liked it. The only drawback I saw, and I'll start with the one drawback, was that Houston's been pretty good on points that paid allowed. I started looking at just opposing centers that they've faced recently, and I think that Houston points in the paint stat's a little skewed because they just haven't really faced any centers who really try to operate offensively in the paint. Their last 3 home games, they've given up 7 made field goals within 9 feet of the basket to at least one player. And you look at the Suns team, there's not really anybody who's going to be trying to score the paint other than Ayton. Getting to Ayton specifically, Ayton is averaging 26 points per game since the start of last season without Devin Booker on the road. And I say on the road specifically because Ayton is one of the, rare, non-true superstars that actually performs better on the road than at home. He's averaging a little over 2 points per game more this year on the road than at home. And I wanted to see if there was any reason why, and I just did a couple Google searches, and there's some interviews where he's quoted as saying that he loves when, fans and opposing players, because it, pumps him up to play even harder. You look at his field goal attempts this year. In every game this year where he's taken 15 or more field goal attempts, he's hit this 20.5. 100% of games this year with no exceptions. Since the start of last year without Devin Booker on the road, he's averaging 17.8 field goal attempts, never going below 16. The other thing is that we're seeing him take 6 more field goal attempts on the road than at home without Booker. I just don't see that as kind of a stat that books can really account for in a short sample size like this. So I just think we're getting a lot of value here. The other thing, Ayton's the number 1 player in the league in field goal percentage for players who are making more than 9 field goal attempts this season. So players taking more than 9 field goals this season, Ayton is number 1 in the league in field goal percentage. So therefore, when his volume gets bumped, it's going to help him more than it's going to help anybody else. So I just really, really like Ayton tonight to go over the 20.5. Like I said, he's averaging 26. So if you wanted to ladder it up to 25, so I think it was plus 230, more than welcome to. The one play I was going to say that I got to figure out a way to do some kind of query on Stat News or something like that tonight before the game starts. But Curry PRA without Drew Holiday in, how much do you think Poole starting instead of Wiggins playing hurts his offensive production tonight?
Hurts Steph's offensive production?
Yes.
None.
Obviously, Poole's a little bit more of a high volume shooter, right, than Wiggins.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts it too much at all, Ben. Just because I feel like Coach Kerr is smart enough to understand that if he doesn't stagger the minutes between those guys, they could, who are you asking, who you relying on to score off that bench if it's not, if it's not Poole. So I don't think, especially with Steph, kind of running the helms of the offense, when Steph wants to shoot, you know what I mean? He's gonna shoot, So yeah, I don't think it hurts Steph's production at all.
For sure. So then I'll probably end up being on Steph over 39.5 PRA. Like we've said on the road, he's just kind of a wagon on the road with just overall production. And there has not been a game this year where he's hit the PRA, where he's hit the points but not hit the PRA
but there have been games this year where he's hit the PRA and not gotten his points. So I think the PRA is probably the better look on the road for him tonight, and anyone can play whatever they want. But I'll probably be on Curry PRA to that. So that's all I got for you.
Okay. I like the looks, man. Best of luck to you tonight. Let's see. Let me kick it to my guy Avery. Avery, what's going on, man? You back today?
Yeah, bro. I had to just try to get out my comfort zone and talk more and stuff like that. So
I like it.
But basically today I like the Jazz on the money line. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good?
Oh, okay. I like the Jazz on the money line. The Pelicans a little bit sky high. I watched both of those games over the weekend. Those are two big emotional wins. They wanted both of those games really, really bad, I feel like. And I just feel like the Jazz in the right spot today, coming off two losses. They almost beat Denver without Conley. Who else? Clarkson didn't play either. THT and them gave them some good minutes, and I feel like that's going to carry over into the game. Pelicans flying into altitude, and I understand that the Pelicans is in a revenge spot, but not all revenge spots hit. And I feel like the Pelicans going to beat them the next game. They play them again, and I don't know, probably this week again, and I'm going to be on them then. And I just feel like Vando, Larkin going to throw a lot of looks at Zion to throw him off balance and stuff like that. And I honestly, personally feel like Zion is not in the best shape going into altitude. I feel like he's going to get a little bit tired and stuff like that. So that's why I'm on the Jazz money line. And also, I'm rocking with my home team tonight, the Milwaukee Bucks. First half, -2.5. The energy is going to be crazy at Pfizer Forum today. And I feel like the Bucks going to make a statement. To let them know that the Warriors that we won a championship too, and I just feel like it's a good spot for the Bucks. Honestly, no matchup for Giannis. Who they gonna throw on them? They can't throw Kuminga on them. They can't throw Draymond on them. I feel like Giannis a little bit too over strong and long to get. He gonna get whatever he wants. Golden State don't have a shot blocker. And I understand Drew Holiday is out. I like Javon Carter a lot. He gonna give Poole some problems and also steps. So that's what I'm looking at. And I also like Boston on the money line, too. Right?
Boston on the money line? Okay.
Yeah. So that's my looks for today.
Okay. Little sneaky looks. I like them, Avery. Best of luck to you, bro. I hope you cash.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let me kick it back to Cash. Cash, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
All right. So I got some more volumes for you guys today.
Okay. What you got?
So this is a sneaky one. Don't sleep on it. But Joel Embiid, over 3 assists, 3.5 assists. His last 10, he hit 80%. I love it. I got it plus 120. I love Giannis over 43.5 points and rebounds. The assists, I think, is a little too high. It was at 49.5, so it was a little sketchy, so I just did points and rebounds. And then I love this play. Draymond Green under 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He has an ankle injury, so I think it's just he's over-dominated. I don't think he can go up against anybody. And then Mike Conley over 6.5 assists. That's one of the sneaky ones. No one's playing that. So, and then I like Chris Paul under 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists also.
So you're taking Conley over his 6.5 assists. You're taking CP3 under his.
I think his CP3 under PRA. It's only hit in the last 10. It's only hit 30%, and just I feel like that's too high for him right now.
Even without Devin Booker being there, you think it's too high against the Houston Rockets defense?
Yeah, I think it's too high. I like it, but other people might like it. But I'm gonna fade the public and go under, just because I think everybody's gonna be on the over. So I think the Bucks are gonna try to be sneaky on that.
Got you. Okay. So Conley over his 6.5 assists. CP3 under his points, rebounds, and assists. And what was the other one?
I like Draymond under 20.5 RPA.
20, what is it? 24.5, 23.5? 23.5? You broke
20.5.
20.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a sneaky play at night. Tonight with the Boston game. Jason Tatum over 29.5. He loves playing in LA. So I think he's going to hit that. He's going to bounce back. And I heard this on a different podcast, but I think he put up like 35, 14, and then like 43. And then I love Russ over rebounds and assists. Nothing is points.
Okay, you got some looks tonight. You got some looks tonight, Cash. Hey, best of luck, man. Best of luck, my guy. Vaughn, can you hear me? If so, I'm trying to kick it to you. I know it looked like it's kind of being a little weird with letting you connect. Let's see. Hustle, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, Hustle? How you doing?
All right, you?
I'm good, bro. What you on today?
I got a couple players. I got a couple sprint parlays. Let me see. So I got the bids today. I got a parlay with the bids. So Embiid for 30 and 10, AD for 30 and 10, and DeAndre Ayton for 25 and 10. That is, and I can't see the odds, but it's like, it's over like 2,000 on the odds. It's like plus 2,000. Also, that one you said AD and who was it?
AD and Embiid double minus 112.
Okay, I added Giannis and somebody else. Let me see. Hold on one second. It was a great odds. Okay. Giannis, Embiid, Aiden, and Davis. AD all for a double-double. So that together on a parlay, that's plus 348. But it's also good for a round robin in case one of them don't get it. So even at a 3x4 parlay, it's plus 213. So I'll probably play that at the 3x4 just in case one comes up short or something like that. Also, a money line parlay. I got Philly money line. I'm taking the Warriors over the Bucks and the Pelicans over the Jazz. In that. Also, I don't know how y'all got these Celtics who have been playing terrible. Jason Tatum has been terrible. I don't know how y'all got them over my Lakers on a back-to-back. Like, that's I take that personal. I think that's kind of disrespectful. So, I'm waiting for a live on the Lakers. If I can get a live at some plus money for the Lakers, that's pretty decent. I'm gonna aim for that.
Okay. Hey, best of luck. Hustle. I sound like you got some nice little parlays in there, man. Best of luck to you, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sosa, what's going on, bro? Let me kick it to you real quick. Vaughn, I'm trying to get you up, man. Won't let you connect. What up, Sosa?
What's the deal, my guy? We're back. Another wonderful Tuesday.
Absolutely.
First off, we're gonna go with the Wham special. If you know the Wham special right now, the Wham special is Jabari Smith 3+3s. It didn't hit the last game. He had his worst shooting night of his career. I'm expecting a bounce back. Right now, 3+3s. Well, I got it at plus 180. It's definitely worth the bet. He's hit it in 8 of 10. He doesn't matter if it's home or the road. He's found his role as a floor spacer and as a shooter on that team. It's kind of very similar to what we saw with Jalen Green. I mean, Jalen Green took about 50 games to get right last year before we started seeing some level of like real ascension from him. I feel as though Jabari Smith kind of found his way. He's with a couple of guards that, they don't. When you have a guy like KPJ and Jalen Green, two guys that are going to dominate the ball, it's going to take you a little bit to find your spots on the floor where you can be effective. I feel as though he's done that. And also, everyone's bringing up his defense against Giannis the other night, which was phenomenal for a kid. So yeah, three threes for Jabari Smith at plus 180. It's actually up to plus 220 on FanDuel, so definitely worth it. Again, I know people are low on the Suns. I wouldn't be too surprised that I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes over and a lot of points are scored. Two other plays that I love is I'm going with Jordan Poole's points simply because of where the game's being played. He's from Milwaukee. First big game at the crib since he got his money. Also, Kevon Looney is from Milwaukee, so they're very beloved in their city. And I think that Golden State tries to feature them to some extent. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Bones Highland goes to Philly. He's from Delaware. They try to, get him the ball. That's why his career high was in Philadelphia last year. It makes sense. It correlates. They love to go home and play and hoop. Kind of like last night, KD in the second half, he put on for his home crowd. I think that's my expectation from Jordan Poole. Over 20 and a half was his number. And I think that we just continue with the wagon of Joel Embiid's points, over 32 and a half. They don't have anybody to guard him, whether it's on the elbow, whether it's in the paint. They have no answer for Joel Embiid in Sacramento, and they give it up, regardless of who they play. They're a fast-paced team that they're going to try to match the opposing team offensively. So those are my 3 plays that I love. Jabari is the nice plus money plays. Like I said, it's up to plus 220. I got worse odds earlier. And Joel and Jordan Poole. Those are the 3 looks that I really love tonight. And yeah, last time I dropped off some plays, we went 3-0. So hopefully we do the same thing again tonight. That'd be wonderful.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you, Sosa. Hope you cash those, bro. Definitely hope you cash those. I think it's Jabari. The Jabari joint is. I know. Wham been cashing that for sure. Jabari.
He put me on and that's another thing. I always talk about this. Some people will tell you, I've won money 6-7 times on a bet.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll try to get you well, you should bet on it too. And it's well, listen, bro, if it's worked for you, it might not. Yeah, the night I bet on the guy, he might not do shit.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? If he put me on maybe the second game where he's yo, this dude shot 8 of them last night. If they're going to keep letting him get 8, he's going to hit 2. We killed the number to 1.5. We killed the number at 2.5. So, I mean, it's at this point, unless he comes out and he's not getting his shots, which I firmly expect he will, it's worth the bet. Just based on volume alone, 100% worth the bet.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Best of luck, Sosa. Best of luck to you, my guy. Let me kick it to absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Let me kick it to Ski. Ski, what's going on, my guy? And then Vaughn, I do got you connected. What up, Ski?
What up? I just had a question, man. I'm just curious. What do it mean if you got what do it mean if you got a lot of sneaky plays? And also, what's this wagon talk? What's that about?
Your guess better than mine, Ski. You got to look it up, bro, in the gambling dictionary. I don't know what a sneaky play is, and I'm still trying to figure out the wagon. I asked yesterday. I don't know what the wagon or the whale or none of that stuff is. It can't be defined. So if you know the definition, send me a request, man, because I'm trying to figure it out too. I'm with you, Ski. I'm with you. Yeah, yeah. We'll just leave it at that, Ski. But I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, man. Give me a play, Ski. What you on today, bro? Ski drop. Vaughn, what's up? What's up, Vaughn?
Yo, what's good, bro? You hear me good?
Yeah, I'm good. What's up? You good? What's up?
Hey, man. So I think I got an answer. So to me, a sneaky play is something that you wouldn't typically play, some off the wall shit, some Chris Paul rebounds or something. To me, that's something that's sneaky. You did your research, something that a lot of people not gonna be on. Can't nobody tell me Embiid points is a sneaky play or some shit like that. So nothing like that. So that's me. That's my personal feelings about that. But I'm on Embiid points. I'm with Sosa. Love Embiid points. Love his usage. I also took a four-player double-double. So Embiid, 8, Giannis, and AD, all their double-double. I added it up. It's plus 333, 343, something like that. I locked in that Suns first quarter, just like them in a bounce back spot. Those my 3 officials for the night. Volume. It seemed like the more plays I have, the lower my percentage is. These nights I've been having 3, 4, 5 plays. I go 4-1, 5-0, some shit like that. I get up to 8, 9 plays. It ain't been working for me. So my goal is no more than 6 per night. So right now I got 3 or 4 plays, and I'm gonna keep it down to that. What Sosa just spoke about, I got a play that I've been running that's been hitting like crazy. People are tagging me when they hit it. Pacers first quarter team total under. There's either 6-22 or 7-21 to that number, to their under. And typically they're losing the first quarter as well. So if the matchup is good, I'll play the spread, but typically I'm just playing their team total under. Again, I've been cashing on it. We've been cashing on it. That's something I've given out to my Discord every day.
So that's a good look if anybody want to, of course, do your own research. Tell at your own risk. So that's all I got official for tonight. I got a question for you. Any chance Steph, Draymond, any of those guys play tomorrow against the Pacers? Because I want to take the first quarter, but I don't like it without them.
Probably not. I think it just kind of depends on how the game flow tonight, but we can't expect for Golden State to play starters. Not all of them anyway, on second night of back-to-back. I definitely think Clay will probably be out. They still will be without Wiggins. So you probably get Poole, you probably get Kuminga, Draymond and Steph probably sit depending on how this game goes tonight. If they don't get smacked up early, I think they probably sit if it's a close game late.
I agree. I know you've been saying it, bro, but we got to take a closer look at Jordan Poole points if Steph don't play. The last couple of times he ain't played, you've mentioned it, and I say I'm going to take another look at it, but I don't think neither of us have gotten there officially. Those games when Steph don't play, Jordan Poole points to the moon, bro.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, and granted, he was in the greatest matchup that he probably ever going to get against Utah in the last game, and he went absolutely bananas in that game, almost won that game. So yeah, I do think that's something, but the line's not going to be up though, Vaughn. The books know, like we're not going to be able to catch them, with it extremely low, and it's kind of dependent upon who else going to be in there. But if it's a lot of guys ruled out on the Golden State side, then I do think he probably got to be in play. Pacers not really good defensively, even though they did play pretty good defense yesterday against the Miami Heat. So. Can definitely not talk you off of that one. Nice little look ahead spot for tomorrow too, previewing tomorrow. Best of luck, Vaughn. Hope you cashed the 3 that you gave out, bro, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Gigi, what's going on, bro?
What up, bro? You can hear me?
Yeah, you good? What's up?
I got something small tonight, so I'm going under on CP3, under 2 threes.
Okay.
Got to take that because the last game, this nigga ain't want to shoot 1 3. He shot a 3, but he ain't make the motherfucker. So I'm praying on his downfall tonight. And I got Austin Reeves over 1 3. I've been liking a white boy. You can shoot that bitch.
Hey, Gigi, quick question for you. So when players go under in their last game, it make you want to take that under in the next game if you bet on that under, if you bet on that over in the last game?
Sometimes I be thinking like, man, if they go under, they usually go over. Sometimes niggas will go back to back and go under. But CP3, I don't like his old ass right now, so I'm going under on him.
So you under on him. Okay. All right.
Yo.
Best of luck. Best of luck,
Everybody
Gigi.
taking Embiid points. It made me want to go under on that too.
Yeah, I mean, best of luck if you go under on Embiid, bro. I know Sosa came up here and talked about it. That he's spot on with that one. Embiid, especially if the game's gonna be close, like Embiid, bro. You go look at his game. Look, I got to pull it up right now. Embiid had 53 against Charlotte, 38 against the Lakers, 39 against Houston, 35 against Memphis. Like, like good luck taking that under. He struggled against Cleveland.
I'll probably just do that one straight then, because I don't want to fuck up my parlay.
Yeah, don't mess up the parlay, bro. Leave the parlay in good hands. Don't take Embiid, especially without Maxey. Like, they're giving the ball to him. They don't have nobody that can guard him. So I wouldn't take Embiid. The only way I'm looking for Embiid is 35 plus. So yeah, just best of luck with that one, bro.
For sure. CP under and Austin Reeves over.
CP under and Austin Reeves over. Okay, it's nice little contrarian looks. I don't think too many people gonna be on those.
Right, that's I would call that a sneaky. What that nigga call it?
Them sneaky plays, GG.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sneaky plays. Basically, what Vaughn said was shit people don't look for, but you pick it and it hit. That's a sneaky play.
Okay. Hey, I hope you cash it, bro.
Wagon shit is, though.
Yeah, wagon's ones they just run back over and over. I think that's what the wagon is. Best of luck to you, GG.
Appreciate it, gang.
Absolutely, bro. Josh, trying to get you connected, man. Let me see if I can get you connected real quick. And then let's see what else we got. We got time for like 2 more. I'm gonna try to get 2 more people up real quick. I got a lot of requests. I can't get everybody up today because it is about 20 minutes before the games actually start. So let me see if I can get Josh. Let me see if I can get you up. And I don't think I ever heard from Sonny. Let me see if I can get Sonny up real quick. Let's see. Sonny, what's going on, bro? Can you hear me? Hey, Sonny, if you can hear me, you muted. What's going on?
Yeah, how's it going, bro?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Real good, bro.
wanted to drop in some plays, bro.
What you got?
Today, the one side I really bet is the Pelicans. I think it's a revenge game against Utah. I think they're just a better team. And a couple of props I bet is I bet James Harden for 9.5 assists.
Hold on. You said the Pelicans game, right?
Yeah.
So did you take the Pelicans or are you skipping that game?
Yeah, I took the Pelicans in the revenge game against the Utah Jazz.
How you play them? You played them on the money line or you laid the 2 points?
I was able to get the money line at -120.
Okay, so Pelicans on the money line -120. Okay, keep going.
Yep. A couple props I took is I took James Harden assists over 9.5.
Okay. Why you like James Harden over 9.5 assists?
Because I looked at the starting lineup. It's Thibault, it's Harris. I think he's the ball handler. He's gonna bring the ball up the court, and also Melton got ruled out.
Okay. So you think with Milton being ruled out and with Thibault being out there, he's still gonna be able to get the 10 assists?
100%. I think he's the lead ball handler out there.
Okay.
And the other play I took is Joel Embiid's rebounds over 9.5 as well. It was -130.
Okay.
I think he gets there. I think he's a focal point, especially this game. It's a close spread. It's at 4, so I expect it to be a close game. So I think he'll be in around the 38-minute range, more than that. So his usage should be there. Should be able to get some rebounds, especially with Sabonis. The last traditional center he played out there was Zubac, and he was able to get 15 against him. So I think we can beat 10 rebounds.
Okay, I like that look a lot. I'm on his double as well, so I definitely need him to get the over 9.5 rebounds, Sonny. Best of luck to you, bro. I hope you absolutely, man. I hope you cash all those tonight, man. I like those looks for sure. I could definitely see all of them happening too. Harden should be able to get to the 10 assists. That one kind of scares me just a tad bit. Double-digit assists can be difficult, but he's been clearing it recently. So opportunity is definitely going to be there. Like you said, he's the primary and secondary ball handler on that team. So as long as he can, stay in the game, not getting foul trouble, and guys can actually make shots, he should be able to get there for sure.
Yeah, and I also factored in the total of the games around 230, so there should be a lot of points.
Absolutely.
And, last season it was Harden. At one point of the season it was just 9.5, 10.5, and we were just betting overs constantly, just like we were doing at Garland last year. So hopefully we get on the train early and keep rolling with them.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, I hope you cash, bro. Hope you cash. Let me kick it to my guy Josh. Best of luck to you, Sonny. Josh, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Chris? I know you're kind of wrapping up real quick, so I'll throw it here. One prop for basketball, I'm on Sabonis over half a three-pointer.
Okay.
I think plus 135. So, he very rarely takes threes, but I like it for the chance. And then on the ice, I'm going to take Mitch Marner. You can see he's around plus 145. And he's gone over a historic point streak right now, reached 22 games. That was an overtime winner on Saturday night. So 7 goals in the last 8 games. So I like them to continue against Anaheim today.
Hold on. Who he played for, Josh? Toronto. Okay. Mitch Warner, right?
Mitch Marner, yep.
Marner or Warner?
Marner with the M.
Oh, Marner. Okay, Marner. I wrote down Warner. Okay. Mitch Marner.
That's on me. I'm mumble.
No. It's all good. It's all good. So he's on Toronto. Okay. Sneaky. That's a sneaky look, Josh. You just gave out a sneaky look on Sabonis over the half of 3. I like it though. I like it. I could definitely see it too, especially if he gets Embiid and draws Embiid outside the paint. Embiid don't typically like to come out there, so I can see that as well. So yeah, real quick in the YouTube comment section, Miles said, "Yo, boss, we still liking the Bucks. Sorry if you already addressed it. Yeah, I still like the Bucks. I already played the Bucks. I took a -4. You probably get a better number now without Drew Holiday being ruled out. I see the line moved down to 3 now. So I like the spot. Like I talked about, Golden State traveling from west to east. Bucks also, you should be a bounce back spot. I like them early as well. I couldn't talk to anybody after the first half, even though I didn't play it. And the other official play that I was on, I gave out the Golden State Warriors. The Milwaukee Bucks -4. I also took the under in the Kings game. I got it at 228.5. I don't think it's going to be as many points as we see on the board. I don't think that it's going to get to 230. Right now, I see the total up to 229.5. I like that number, even with Fox being in. And then I talked about it earlier and gave my analysis for it. The Phoenix Suns, I think, is prime bounce back spot. After 4 straight losses, they can't beat the Pelicans, so they got to beat up on somebody. And I think they beat up on the Houston Rockets, especially, not looking ahead against the Houston Rockets, already losing to the Houston Rockets and 4 straight losses in a row. I look for them to be dominant early. I like them 1.5 in the first quarter. With respect to Houston, which is why I didn't take the full game, the 6.5 is a little too rich for my blood. But like I said, I'm really high on this Phoenix team tonight. First quarter specifically, minus the 1.5, I still played at 2.5 as well. And those are the three actual sides that I like. The only player prop I talked about that I mentioned was the Embiid double-double and the Anthony Davis double-double. I played it already at a minus 112. It sounds like everybody's on it in a combination with everybody else's double-double as well, which kind of doesn't make me want to play it as much, but it's already played. Like I gave out the analysis. I like the looks for both of these guys to go over their double-double. So I did parlay those two together and took Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis to go over their double to both get a double-double without a win. I only played the double-double specifically and parlayed those two things together. Mikal Bridges, his over 2.5 threes is in my best slip, plus 128. I like Zion to go over his points as well. I talked about that. I didn't play that one, but the Jazz are allowing the most points. They're giving up the most points in the paint. Zion scores most of his points from the paint. He's also been ultra aggressive, shooting a lot of free throws recently. And then I like Bron tonight. I like Bron over his 26.5, high scoring game against the defense that's on the second night of a back-to-back 3rd and 4. So I think Bron, probably scores 28 to 30 points tonight. Couldn't talk anybody off AD. It's going to be interesting to see how they try to guard AD without a traditional center. Blake Griffin is about 6'4", so that's going to be an interesting matchup to see how Coach Mazzulla, wants to defend AD tonight. But that's what I'm on today. Big slate tomorrow, so I didn't want to go crazy today. Only playing what I absolutely love. Got to be able to separate your leans from your officials. It'll definitely probably save you some money in the long run. So big slate tomorrow. Be back at it tomorrow morning. As always, Cashed It with Chris is at 7 a.m. You guys tune in. Definitely check out the podcast as well to be recorded. It's available as soon as the show is over. So pretty much like 7:30 a.m. the podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of the podcast streaming platforms. So check me out there. Be sure to hit the like button as well if you guys, especially if you guys are enjoying the show. Retweet the show, all that good stuff. Just show some support. And that's all I got for you guys. Always end the show with this. None of this is financial advice, financial consultation. This is theory, is logic, trends, eye tests, SDQL, queries, all that good stuff. Bet with your head and not over it. Until I meet you guys tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Best of luck on your bets, man. I'm out.